a Laker maniac, and he is the Archbishop of the Bronx Sexuals. Welcome back to Prince and Barty.
Welcome back. Welcome back. This is episode 129 of your favorite sports podcast. Prince and Barty. I am Prince, and my boy is Barty. What's going on, man?
We here, man. You already know. Best sports show in the world. Ready to talk NFL. Yeah. You know, we definitely got to talk some baseball, too, because the big things happen.
Nah, for sure. WNBA is happening, too, so a lot to dive into, man. But let's start with NFL, man. Let's get into this Barty report.
It's the Barty Report.
Let's be great. Let's be great.
Where A Slim Barty, a.k.a. Barty, brings you the latest news, rumors, and updates of the NFL.
So one of the big matchups we talked about all week is Dallas and Green Bay. So it doesn't disappoint. Dak was playing lights out. It was a great game, tied 40-40. What do you think of, I guess, let's start with the Cowboys, playing. They look good on offense, man. They were clicking. What do you think about the Cowboys' offensive flow last night?
Offensively, for them to put 40 points up on that defense without CeeDee Lamb, it shows volumes, but it also shows that Green Bay isn't as good as we think they are. Because just 2 weeks ago, we saw the Chicago Bears beat the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. So when you look at that, you say to yourself, is Caleb that dude, or is Jordan Love not that dude? And so that defense of Green Bay gave up 40 points with Pickens looking like the second coming of A.J. Green, with Javonte Williams running all over that defense like he was Ezekiel Elliott, with Jake Ferguson catching the ball like he's Jaden Novacek back in the day with the Dallas Cowboys. So I didn't really see the Cowboys being better. I saw Green Bay playing down to the Cowboys level.
Nah, for sure, man. I think, you saw Micah Parsons, man. It was a lot of emotions. Like, he was dying to they gave him an official sack against Dak, but it was definitely emotional, man. What got me was Jerry. Jerry was kind of like, we felt that Dak was indispensable and Micah was. So it's wild, man. We're like, Jerry's a petty old man. Like, he gonna always throw it in your face that he made the right decision. Micah Denver got to become Lawrence Taylor. And even then, Jerry gonna stand by his decision. But let's talk about the other game. What was the other game? What was that in Ireland? That
Steelers-Vikings.
Steelers-Vikings, man. That was an early game. What'd you think about the Steelers, man? Just DK Metcalf. That dude is a physical freak. Him and Aaron Rodgers connected on that bomb. TJ did his thing on defense, man, had that pick. What do you think about the Steelers, with a formidable offensive weapons that you have to respect at least? What can they do in the AFC to muck stuff up over there?
What's crazy? The Steelers are 3-1. The Bengals are 2-1. The Ravens are 1-3, and the Browns are 1-3. And we didn't expect that. We thought that the Ravens would run away with that division, and we're watching Aaron Rodgers' resurgence. Is it safe to say that the coach was a bonehead in New York? Is it safe to say that Aaron Rodgers told Green Bay he still has something left in the tank? He's winning games in Pittsburgh. We all were making fun of him about these psychedelic drugs that he was taking. We all were making fun of him on Pat McAfee's show. And he's proven them wrong. He's proven that he is one of the greats. When we talk about the greatest quarterbacks of all time, Aaron Rodgers' name is mentioned in the top 5 echelon. So he looks good. DK Metcalf looks good as well. And it's safe to say that they can make some noise in the playoffs. Now, I'm still worried about the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Of course, Patrick Queen had a big game. T.J. Watt is starting to come back into season form. Ice-Hip is coming into season form. Their defense is starting to play better, but they're still giving up too many points. And that's what I always say about the AFC. It's like, to me, the AFC used to be the teams with the defense, and now it's like not too many good defensive teams in the AFC at all.
Nah, for sure, man. The other, I'm happy, man. Both our teams won this weekend, which is a rare occurrence, at least on my end sometimes. But Big Blue, man, Dart came in, did his thing. Had a rough go at it, but he had his first rushing touchdown. I like what he brings. I love the energy Jackson Dart brings to the Giants. He's youthful. He got that swag to him. Reminds me a lot of Baker Mayfield, that Joe Burrow energy to him, man. Obviously, we lose Malik Neighbors, huge blow. They're saying it's an ACL, and you know how that goes, man. Them ACLs are tricky. You know, Diggs is just coming back from that. You know, a lot of people coming back off of ACL. A lot of ACL injuries, actually, a lot this year, actually. So, what do you think about the Giants? You know, able to beat like a Chargers team like that. You know, that's a pretty good team, great offense, good coach over there too. But the defense able to neutralize them and what they wanted to do and come up with the W.
For them to beat the Chargers, Chargers are one of the best teams in the league. When we talk about the AFC, they're one of the best teams. They beat Kansas City. They beat everybody in the division, but then when they got the big blue, they lost. Love it from the fact that I've been telling you from the beginning of the year, if they can put it together, they can start to win. And not only did they win, but they won without Neighbors. That's scary. That's scary because now you look at it. Jackson Dart has given them a new heart transplant. It's a new team. It's new energy. We don't have that old energy from Russell Wilson. You know, you have the new energy with Dart starting. Then you still have the defense with Tibbs, Abdul Carter, and Brian Burns, and they're still racking up sacks. We knew what that defense would do. We knew they would be good. Yesterday was a game of sacks, too, because, of course, Tulupo, he had 4 sacks on Dart, but, of course, Dart is a rookie, so that's normal. But for them to have that win in the fashion versus the Chargers, it's safe to say that Big Blue can turn some things around. And hopefully they will, because when you look at that division, yesterday, Cowboys had a tie. Yesterday, the Washington Redskins lost. Washington Commanders, they lost to the Atlanta Falcons, and the Eagles keep winning. So, you know, that they can make up ground in that NFC and possibly be a playoff.
All right, from one rookie to the other, man. Cam Ward, the direct quote is, if we keep it a buck, we are ass. You know, that's what we love about Cam Ward. He's just to the point. He don't bullshit you. Man, where do we start there, man, with what they got going on? Like, I knew they were going to be bad, but I thought it was going to be a little more competitive than what we're seeing so far. Can they help Cam Ward out? Is he going to get judged for this season? Like, where's Cam Ward in that team right now in your perspective?
I was hoping that they would have been better. I mean, remember, I predict Pollard to have a good year. I predict Cam Ward to have a good year. And this is one of my predictions that I'm really having a famine on. I don't know, man. I mean, the thing is this, when we look at the history of quarterbacks playing in the NFL, this is norm. So could it be quarterbacks, or could it be that Tennessee is just terrible? It's unfortunate what we're seeing with the team. He has a good receiving core. He has a good running game. But they got blown out yesterday. They got embarrassed by a Texans team that hasn't really been doing anything. It was literally the bowl of the worst teams in the league, and Houston came out on top. And so now it's back to basics. I mean, I blame coaching because I don't think we're using Cam Ward to the best of his abilities. He's a good quarterback, and I think he's taking it the right way. I mean, he's just calling a spade a spade. They have to play better. They have to be better. And I mean, whenever we ever gotten a quarterback quote where he says what he said, that's going to be go down in history like Denny Green when he said they are who they say they are, or even Herm Edwards. So you play to win the game. So I think it was a great quote.
Nah, for sure, man. I'm not gonna lie, y'all killed the Bucs. Y'all killed the Bucs, man. I feel like y'all own the Bucs a little bit. They always play competitive. You know, Baker's a competitor, but we thought the Bucs would be a lot better. You know, we love Baker. You know, Baker's a dog, man. He's always slept on. Always finds a way to get it done. What is going on with the Bucs, man, and their recent struggles? I'm not going off of y'all are the Super Bowl champs. You know, that was a good measuring test for them, but what's going on with the Bucs right now?
Well, for the Bucs, injuries is a problem for them as well as, you know, Dolphins just came up with that ACL issue he had last year, so he's not 100%. And then secondly, their defense is not who they were before. They still have Vita Vea, but they've lost a lot of pieces on the defense. The defense is not as good. Latavius David is not the same David from when they won the Super Bowl. Remember, they had him and Devin White. It was one of the greatest tandems we've ever seen in Super Bowl history. The team is just not the same. And they're trying to base things off of a past where your best wide receiver is, 13, 14 years in the league right now. And, of course, he has a hamstring injury. So you're expecting him to be the Mike Evans he was when they won the Super Bowl, which is not going to happen. But, I mean, as we go further and further and further, we're going to see them decline because number one, they have a good team and Baker is good Mr. Fourth Quarter, but versus the high class teams in the NFL, they're always going to lose because they're missing a lot of pieces on that defensive side of the football.
For sure, man. Home team, we got to talk the Dolphins. And I was thinking the other day, man, we're always on them, just keeping it honest. But I think as competitors, as men, they got to want it now. You forget the AFC wild card, forget the playoffs, anything like that. It's like for your pride as men, the Dolphins got to make some happen, bro. Like, I feel like people see the Dolphins on the schedule, they're like, oh, that's an easy win. From a historic season with Tyreek Hill, 2,000 yards to kind of where they are now. And what's sad about it is, I think what's sad is it's almost like the game tape, right? Where DBs are literally saying what Tua wants to do. They know he's going to go through his first two progressions and then look Waddle all the way down the field, look Tyreek Hill. There's no parity in his game. He can't throw on the move. So for Tua to be so successful, he has a lot of deficiencies in his game, right? You're playing the Jets. I feel like we talk about these at nauseam. I don't even know what to say about the Dolphins anymore, but what can they do for their pride? What's a successful finish for the Dolphins this season? I'm going to get my $100, so I'm not worried about that. But what's going on with these guys, man?
I mean, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's no tooth fairy. There's no Santa Claus coming down the tree. There's no big Thanksgiving dinner. They're in trouble. The Dolphins, like I said before, they bet their money on undersized receivers and no O-line. Football is won in the trenches. We all know that. And in the trenches, they're weak. They don't put their money into their O-line. How did you have Jimmy Johnson coming down here and coach after coaching the Cowboys and you didn't learn anything from that? There was nothing learned, Stephen Ross doesn't know what he's doing. As you look at the situation, I mean, they're going to hit rock bottom. And what they have to do is, as I said before, make some trades to better their team. They might need to bring in another quarterback. They might need to draft someone. They might need to trade Tyreek and a piece with some defense because there's nothing to jumpstart this organization. The organization just can't be jump-started. And we're going into the fall where it's going to get cold. So now all that heat that they depend on to win games, they don't have it anymore. When they get to November, they're going to lose more games. Don't be surprised if the Dolphins win 3 games this year. That's right, and go 3-15 or 3-14, excuse me.
That's tough, man. But speaking of the Dolphins, speaking of Super Bowls, it's been announced that Bad Bunny is going to be this year's Super Bowl performer. 3-time Grammy winner, Bad Bunny. They're going international this time. They say Kendrick was too. We don't want to say that word over the airwaves, but they're trying to switch it up, man, and go Bad Bunny. What's your thoughts on this, man? Are they still keeping it real, versatile? Is Middle America going to enjoy this show? What do you think about? This is my personal opinion. I think politically, Jay-Z got Kendrick in there, for hip hop, things of that nature. Now we're going back to that Latin vibe. Is this more like a political signing with Bad Bunny? He's a huge artist. Let's not get it twisted. Arguably one of the most streamed artists in the world currently, him and Taylor Swift up there. So what do you think about this selection and the process with the Super Bowl going forward?
Viewership, man. It's always about viewership. It's always about breaking records. Super Bowl doesn't compete with the NBA. The Super Bowl doesn't compete with the WNBA. The Super Bowl doesn't compete with Major League Baseball. Super Bowl competes with the World Cup. And the World Cup has all the viewers. So how do we get more viewers? Bring in Bad Bunny. Last year, there were a lot of complaints about that whole situation because even though America supports Kendrick, overseas supports Drake. And so that's what happened. So basically, they want to get those fans back who want to watch the game. There were some people saying, they didn't like the halftime show because of everything that goes on. It was more of a Americanized halftime show. And so for it to go international, that's good. I was hoping because I seen some stuff saying that Jay was going to do it, but I guess not. So Jay-Z's not doing it. Some people also came out and said Jay was going to have a new album. I was getting excited because, I don't buy albums anymore. Jay dropped an album, though. I'm going back to the stores to buy them. Nas dropped an album, I may go back to the stores and buy one. But these other cats, I'm not copping no album. You know me. I'm with hip hop. I only listen to the old heads. I'm considered an old head myself. So, for Bad Bunny to come in, it's more about viewership. They're competing with the World Cup. They're competing with the Olympics. And how do you compete with something so big? you don't bring in someone that's international.
For sure, man. You know, this is one of our favorite times of the year. You got NBA about to start back up, right? You got MLB playoffs about to start off. WNBA playoffs are going on right now. Football season. So it's a great time in sports, man. But let's go MLB for a minute, man. The Mets will miss the playoffs. So the Mets are out of contention. The Reds officially make the postseason after the Mets lose to the Marlins, man. You know, our Yankees, they in there. You know what I mean? It's a lot going on. So talk to me about MLB and kind of what we expect just as far as the parity this year.
We got what we've been talking about. 2 weeks ago, we said that we wanted to see a Red Sox-Yankees series today at 5 o'clock. And this is a promo for MLB Brawl people. We have the Red Sox versus the Yankees. I'm excited. I want to see it. It's not the old school Red Sox. It's not the old school Yankees. But we have that rivalry reinvented. We get to see Trevor Story go up against Aaron Judge and see, is it about power or is it about batting for average? We get to watch a classic fastball versus a tactician and pitchers. It's classic baseball. I'm excited for that series on the wild card. We get to see what happens. Of course, the Yankees are the favorite because they are the better team. But there are so many storylines in the postseason. You got the Philadelphia Phillies playing the way they're playing. They look good. There is no favorite. You know, you used to saying it's Yankees or Dodgers. No, any one of these teams can win. So the biggest thing I like with this year's postseason for the MLB is parity. We don't know who could win, and good luck to all the teams. We can mess around and be talking about Cincinnati won the World Series, the Red Sox won the World Series, the Yankees have a chance to win the World Series. It is wide open in Major League Baseball.
No question, man. We definitely be locked in, man. It's a lot of work doing sports. People don't realize, man, especially this time of year, we try to report and get y'all all the info we can, but it's a lot. But we got y'all, man. Ain't nothing to a giant. But let's talk WNBA, man.
Holding court with Prince. Our resident NBA guru, Prince, dives into all things basketball.
Cage into a three. Got it! Hurry!
So the Mercury take down the number 1 seed Lynx to advance to the finals. And obviously, the Fever, they force a game 5 with Aja Wilson and the Aces. So that's a game. So they forced the game 5. Mercury going to the dance. The WNBA is cool, man. I think they still, just from a marketing end, right? We know about the MLB. We know about football. I just think, like, the marketing has to be greater. You know, one of the games was on yesterday during football. So it's like they're in a stacked, like, time crunch to really get eyes on these games. It's going to be very hard, man. It's a lot of competitive basketball. I was able to catch some of the Fever game, and it was a good game, man. But just looking at the finals, look at the NBA, how they make it a whole day, a whole theme, a whole thing. WNBA's marketing is just not there. I don't know if they need to hire some of the NBA people in the off season to do their stuff while the NBA season's off season, and they just bring people in, but they need to step it up, man. What do you think about kind of the lackluster coverage of the finals? And it's great games too. Great competitiveness, record-breaking performances, but people just don't know about it.
It's crazy, man. You know why it's crazy? Because I was thinking about when you made that statement, what LeBron said last year on Christmas Day when he said, the NFL needs to let us have our day. You can't put any national game, whether it be baseball, whether it be basketball, on during the NFL season. It's very hard to get people to watch. I mean, men are glued to the TV. Men leave their wives just to go watch football, you know? And so you can't expect people watching the most ferocious sport, the gladiator sport, going on while you have the WNBA. I don't know why that game wasn't on at nighttime. It would have made more sense for it to have been a primetime game. And I know we had the Cowboys and Green Bay, but you would have only been battling one game opposed to battling the onslaught that is the NFL season. You got all these games going on. You got Giants fans watching the Giants game, Eagles fans. You had the Ravens versus the Chiefs. Why would you have this game scheduled at this time? I think that's poor marketing by the WNBA leaders. And of course, it's hard for them because they still have to compete with the NBA. So they have to find a window to work that thing out. I mean, we watched America's favorite pastime, the MLB, lose viewership because their games are going on during the NFL season. So they need to put the games at prime time. I would have preferred maybe you had a game Saturday night because college does compete, but it doesn't compete as much as the NFL. So you could have did it Saturday night or you could have did it Sunday night. But to have that game in the middle of the day where everybody's on Fox or CBS or Red Zone wasn't smart.
No, for sure. It's definitely tough. But speaking of tough, man, Juju Watkins, our girl Juju, announced she'll miss the 2025-2026 season. You know, she had a torn ACL in the second round of the 2025 NCAA tournament. So she's out this whole upcoming year. You know, the WNBA, I think the third time's a charm. You know, obviously you had Angel, you had Caitlin 2 years ago, you had Paige last year who just won Rookie of the Year. And they're hoping Juju's that next Angel to come into that league, man, to really dominate. So Juju's man, I think it's funny. Paige, you know, I've been talking about Paige probably since she was in high school. We know what Caitlin is. We know what Angel is on the boards. But when it comes to just a straight hooper, I think Juju got them all beat. You know, Juju is a pure point guard, you know, got a handle, got a jump shot, got that toughness. So you hate to see it for her, but I don't know if she's going to come off the injury and go back to school or come directly into the WNBA. So I don't know what the plan is. I know they got to stay like 2 or 3 years. Women do. So rest up, Juju, man. We'll see what shakes out, bro. But man, let's move this shit right along, man. I wanted to talk to you about, let's talk NBA. Let's go holding forward Prince. So, you know, we know about Ozempic. We know about all these weight loss drugs. Everybody's on it. Serena Williams is my face with it. Everybody's in our face with it. You know, Luka lost all the weight. We don't know if it's natural in the gym. We're not judging. We just need Luka to drop that 40 ball for us every night. But your boy, man, lost some weight. Zion Williamson, porn star loving Zion. He is back. He said it's the best he felt since college. He's been playing football, been boxing. Are you buying the stock in Zion Williams? You know, we've heard so much about Zion. Oh, this is the year I'm gonna lose weight. They put clauses in his contract. Is this the year Zion becomes who we thought he was? Or is it gonna be more of the same? He gets hurt, and that's that.
The fact that he lost all that weight is great. It's definitely great. You put the work in. I can't hate it. You putting the work in. Now, can your body take the bruise of the 82-game schedule that is the NBA? It's a gauntlet. It's a gauntlet just like the NFL is. It's a gauntlet just like any other sport. You have to play 82 games. And you're going to be beaten. You're going to be battered. They're going to put you in the paint. He's lighter now in the britches. So people are going to be boxing him in, boxing him out. I hope he's as strong as he was when he had the weight on. Because sometimes people lose the weight and they also lose the muscle. So, I mean, the dude looks like he's in great shape. I didn't even know that was Zion. I thought it was somebody else. I was like, did they draft somebody else? No, that's not Williamson. So I think that it's going to be good for New Orleans, but I don't know if his body can take the bruising schedule of 82 games. We're going to see because, of course, now that you don't have that weight, you're going to deal with people, you know, bowling you, hitting you, because they want to see what you can take. A lot of times that weight helps you be able to take the physical punishment that is the NBA season. I mean, remember, Luka lost weight 2 years ago when he went to the finals, and he was beaten up at the end of the season because the NBA ain't no joke. You know, it's no joke. We've only watched one person do it, and as far as on a consistent basis, year in, year out, and still be strong, still be fast, and that's LeBron James. And so it's going to be interesting. I think that he can make a difference, but I don't think his body can wear and tear for the whole 82-game schedule.
Nah, for sure. Let's talk the East Coast, man. You know, a lot of people assume the Knicks are finals bound because of the injury to Indiana with our boy Halliburton. You know, Dame leaving the Bucs, getting injured. You know, they pick up Miles Turner. Detroit, what do they look like? Orlando picking up Bane. But are we sleeping on the Philadelphia 76ers? You know, we're hearing a lot of great things about VJ Edgecombe coming out of the Philly training camp. You know, Aaron Gordon's high on him, Nick Nurse, Paul George. Everybody's saying how amazing this young kid is. Jerry McCain coming off of that injury. He's going to be a great piece for him. Philly has a good team, like as far as it's constructed. Paul George might miss the beginning of training camp, but should be good. Joel Embiid is back to 5-on-5 basketball. Is this a prime year for Philly just to stay healthy in the right moments and really make a push in the East Coast? because there's no really buddy else. We see Tatum looking good, back to getting shots up, doing footwork drills off of that Achilles, but he says he's going to come back, but we don't know. Is Philly in prime position to really make some shake if they could really get their ducks in a row this season?
Um, Philly looks good, but we got to see if they can stay healthy. You got two players that stay injured. And so you're trying to build your team around somebody who's injury prone. We watched Paul George do this with Kawhi Leonard. We're watching him do it now with Joel Embiid. I don't think that they can continue to be that team that people say they are with all these pieces unless these players can play a full season. And that's the key. Can Joel Embiid play a full season with this and see what we can do? I'm more interested in seeing what the next jump is for Cade Cunningham. Looks good, man. And the jump that he can make with Detroit, that's going to be scary. That's going to be crazy. I think Cade may be, and I know this sounds crazy, but I think he may take a jump like we saw Bean take a jump. He's that good. He has a lot of talent. He has the footwork. And Detroit, the East is wide open, man. Last year, we thought that it was going to be somebody else. We thought it was going to be Boston. Remember, we all picked Boston and Milwaukee to go to the championship. And who would have thought it would have been Indiana? Now we're picking New York and all these other teams, and we're sleeping on Detroit. Detroit is a good team. And when healthy, they can beat anybody in the Eastern Conference.
No, I agree, man. Detroit's tough. I think Rondo was saying that he wants to work with Cade, make him a pure point guard. I think Cade could really dominate. He has that dog in him. He has that Dame Lillard in him, that Brandon Roy in him, where you don't bet against him. He's a dog. So that's a good call.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good player. But looking at, we talked about it on our video portion with the Rockets, man, losing Fred VanVleet. That's a big blow to them at the point guard position. We know what VanVleet brings to them just on every aspect, defensively, scoring in the clutch, three ball, setting up the offense. How much of, I know we're high on the Rockets, how much of a blow is this to the Rockets and their chances to truly be competitive with the OKCs and the top of the teams in the Western Conference?
He was supposed to be the young star as far as the young floor general, along with Amen Thompson and Kevin Durant. They should still be a top 4 team in the Western Conference, but their championship window for this season, as I would say, is closed. It's funny, man, when you think about Kevin Durant, and when I say close, I mean as far as I don't think that they can win without Fred VanVleet. I don't think they can beat OKC. I think they can beat Golden State, and I think they can beat the Lakers. But that's the only teams that I think can do that.
Yeah, I agree, man. Just when I saw that, I'm like, man, is the Durant curse travels, man. The Durant curse travels, man. So I don't know. I want to read. Let's talk some money, man. We like talking money. Let's talk the financial playbook.
You're locked into the financial playbook with Prince and Barty, discussing all the money moves happening in the world of sports.
I don't dance now, I make money moves.
So this is what I saw something interesting, man. So we talked about the Mets. The Mets have officially been eliminated from the playoffs, despite having the second highest payroll in the league. The Reds secured a final card spot in the National League, right? So we look at the Mets payroll, $341 million. $341 million, while the Reds have $119 million. More than half. That roster eliminates the other roster. So we know in football, your boy Roseman, where money brings Super Bowls. Back in the day, money brought championships for the Florida Marlins. A lot of people say the Marlins championships were bought, but why do you think in today's game of baseball that doesn't mean anything? It doesn't translate like football does, having the best players, having the highest payroll. Why does that not translate for baseball?
I think it still translates, but I think that the problem is this is how you use your money. If I get $1 million and I go buy 7 Teslas, I wasted my money. You got to really be smart in what you do and where you spend. And with baseball, you have to spend money on pitching. I think that the Mets spent a lot of money on hitting, and they didn't spend money on defense. I think these New York teams, even the Yankees spent a lot of money on hitting and not pitching. And defense wins championships. You look at the Dodgers when they won, they had the defense. The Braves, they had the defense. The Houston Astros, they had the defense. It's where you put your money that matters. It's not a matter of having a big payroll. It's having a big payroll in pitching and not having a big payroll in hitting. And the Mets put a lot of money towards the offense instead of actually having a great pitching squad. And that's what killed them. That's why they're not in the postseason, because their pitching was not as good as it was said it would be.
Nah, for sure, man. So this weekend I went to Top Golf. I've been there a few times filming and things of that nature. Never hit the ball and drove it. So I'm gonna be honest, I have a new respect for golfers. My lower back is on fire right now, and I'm glad. So I lost to my wife. Shout out to my boy Alton, Alty, his wife. I was the worst golfer of the four. I will be better. I was telling him that's my origin story. Remember being shot them air balls and came.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I'm about to be Tiger Woods on y'all, man. I'm about to get these drivers and start turning into Happy Gilmore on them, man. But now I see why Tiger Woods had on them back surgeries, because it's your upper body, the swinging motion, and I'm just glad it's no video of me. I got that Charles Barkley, LeBron hitch in my swing. It's not pretty, but yeah, golf is a real thing, man. So salute to all the golfers out there. Man, I've been playing sports my whole life, but I felt goofy. I felt uncomfortable. I felt insecure, but I love it though. I see why LeBron got that bug. Like, I want to get back out there, because when as athletes, when something's easy to you, where it's like football, run, catch, jump, you could do that with any sport, but you can't cheat golf. It's skill, it's patience, it's concentration. So, and that's what we about, man. So that was my golf outing this weekend. What you got into? I know you in Alabama.
Man, just work, man. It's been working, man. Just working. When you mentioned golf, shout out to my grandfather. His name is on the bell tower at this college for being one of the best classes of all time. And since you mentioned golf, my grandpa was big on golf. He used to take me and my brother to the driving range. My brother's actually, he plays all the time at the country club, pays the big money to play. So that's his thing. I know how to hit. I can hit a ball very far, but I can't putt. And that's the weird thing, right? I can drive it, but I can't putt. So I would have to work on my putting game or my sand wedge game. But as far as the driver or any other club, I'm pretty much good at those things. Golf, man, yeah, golf is definitely a great sport, man. You watch all these people who play, and shout out to the greats that we know in golf. Of course, Tiger Woods, so many great players who have played the game of golf. Vijay Singh, the great people who are playing now. You know, it's one of the best sports to watch. And it definitely takes a lot of patience.
Nah, for sure, man. This is something that was crazy, man, that I saw over the weekend too. So Steelers backup quarterback Skyler Thompson suffered minor injuries after getting jumped and robbed in Dublin on Friday night. Bro, how you out there getting jumped? You got a whole football team with you, 53 people, a staff. Are you out there? What are you talking trash to these people? What are you disrespecting the people in Ireland? How does this even happen, bro?
Well, who knows, man? Maybe he was out there trying to talk to somebody's girl. You don't realize American values ain't the same as
Real.
over there. You might be out there talking to somebody's girl, they find out, and then they jump you. You know, you shouldn't have rolled out alone. That's how I see it. There's no way you get jumped unless you went rolling out alone. You probably like, well, I don't have to play, so I'm going to enjoy Dublin and find me a nice Dublin girl. And you got doubled up on. That's what happened. So it's crazy. But I mean, listen, they have to be more safe going to these other countries, because they're not going to respect, especially like if it was Patrick Mahomes, they probably would have left him alone because he's well known. But the fact that this is the backup, Skyler Thompson, he's like, who is this cat? I don't know him, so let me jump him. And that's the situation.
Real quick, man. So I seen this funny meme. It's like the best names in college football. So the first one, dude name is Brick Handler is his last name. Other dude's name is Darealis Clark. Darealis, DarealYst. And we got Prayer Young. His first name is Prayer. Last name is Young Black Goat. Other dude name is Cash Cheeks. Pause. Cash Cheeks, tight end for UTEP. He a junior. Then it's Mobility. I'm not making this up, bro. Mohbility. Then we got Eli Brickhammer, like I said earlier, quarterback. And then we got Tommy Running Rabbit, King Large, Demon Clowny, Demon June, Squirrel White, Rocky Beers, D. Icy Hopkins, it's a gamble, Justice Rider, Legend Journey, Memorable Factor, Haynes Hammer, Oboe. Bro, So my government is Jason. This is my guy, Aaron. We from a place called the 1980s where names was regular. Y'all got it, man. I don't even know how to react to that. Y'all got it.
You know what I'm gonna say, man? Anybody can have a kid, so they'll name their kid anything. You know, I said nowadays, kids is having kids and they naming their kids all kind of stuff. If my mama and my daddy name me any of them names, I'm disowning my mama and daddy. That's just straight up. Come on.
Prince and Barty is your number one source for all things sports. Now streaming on Spotify and iTunes. Prince and Barty will be doing live broadcast at several locations around the country. Follow and like all Prince and Barty's social media pages for exclusive details. There will be game tournaments, sport trivia, best fan contest, and cash giveaways all night. This can be your chance to win big.